By the time an avowed white nationalist with a cross spray-painted on his t-shirt was being searched by London, Ontario police, he had attacked a Muslim family of 5. 4 were dead, and the killer was in the mood to talk.
Obviously, for what I did, obviously I'm going to have enemies.
More than 2 years later, a jury has been shown hours of video evidence.
I want the world to know why I did what I did.
Seen pictures from inside his apartment and heard weeks of testimony. The defense even called the attacker as a witness.
There's shock as people wonder where exactly this is going.
Now, will Nathaniel Veltman be convicted of terrorism-motivated murder? Here's what jurors saw and what they didn't see. The night before the attack, Veltman testified he hit the road to Toronto, his mind in a dreamlike state, still reeling from a magic mushroom trip. When he said he came upon a group of Muslims, he felt an urge to run them over. But the jury didn't hear there's evidence Veltman had another target in mind as well. Prosecutors revealed directions to Toronto's Women's College Hospital were found on Veltman's smartphone. He had mused about attacking abortion providers, had a bag of weapons in his truck, and repeatedly viewed the writings of the man behind the deadly New Zealand mosque shootings.
They can end up believing that anything can be a threat.
Vanderbilt University professor Sophie Bjork-James has done extensive research on the white nationalist movement.
When people enact this kind of terrorist violence, they want to become heroes and celebrated and remembered by others and inspire others.
If someone were to cite this instance, this case, as inspiration to carry out violence in the future, how surprising would that be to you?
Not at all surprising.
In his London apartment, Veltman said he had been spending 12 hours a day or more consuming online conspiracy theories. On that sheet of paper, he had written down speeds and percentages, listing the likelihood of injury or death if a vehicle struck a pedestrian. Then on 2 separate occasions, in broad daylight on June 6, 2021, the court heard Veltman drove by groups of Muslims in London and again felt compelled to attack them. When he spotted the Afzaals, he said he could no longer resist the urge, speeding towards a young boy, teenager Yumna, her mother Medea, grandmother Talat, and father Salman. I turned around, he recounted, stepped on the gas, and drove at them. The jury was shown pictures of the crash site with a road sign smashed to the ground. Members of the Muslim community sitting in the courtroom for the trial could at times be heard sobbing.
What we, I think, in the community are really asking for is justice in the fullest sense. I think there is confidence.
Uthman Quick speaks for the National Council of Canadian Muslims. They've kept in touch with family members of the victims.
I don't want to speak on behalf of the family in any sense, but you can only imagine the difficulty of having to listen to some of the details that have come out during the trial.
In the witness box, Veltman insisted he never had a plan to kill, and his goal wasn't to intimidate all Muslims. He was 20 years old at the time and testified he was depressed and paranoid, influenced by a strict fundamentalist Christian upbringing. A much different version of Veltman spoke openly to a police detective hours after the attack.
It was terrorism. I'm not gonna try to get a lighter sentence by saying it was just murder, not terrorism.
And there's more. The jury wasn't shown the part of this interview where Veltman said he first considered a terrorist attack when he was 13. In this parking lot, less than 5 minutes after he ran over the Afzaal family, Veltman approached a taxi driver and ordered him to call 911.
It was me. It was me that did it. Come arrest me.
He put his hands on his head and got down on his knees. Veltman's future now is up to the jury.